Hi guys, this is Noah Layton, and today I want to go over an important part of getting work as a freelance writer or a copyright email. To get steady work, a writer must be proficient in writing professional emails. If they are not, it could reflect badly on their skills as a writer, as well as damage your professional appearance. There are a handful of rules that, if used properly, can give you an edge in the job market. For the sake of brevity, I've narrowed down my advice for making professional emails into 7 rules. This is not an exhaustive list, but it does the trick. For a first rule, check it often. Be a professional. Act as if your career depends on it. This includes things like have an appropriate email address. Put your name and contact information in your email signature. Keep format simple in outgoing emails. Respond to emails promptly. Utilize the vacation responder if you'll be offline for more than 2 days, or just be prepared to respond to emails while you are away. Focus on the subject line, the personal greeting, and the focused point. Put the actual subject in the subject line. Putting hi is not specific and pretty much just annoying. Always give a personal greeting. Focus your information and get to the point quickly. Emails that require scrolling are probably too long. Grammar and spelling are important. If you plan to be taken seriously as a professional, write like a professional and avoid all silly little errors. Proofread every email at least once. Sound professional. Keep a respectful tone. Tone is easily miscommunicated in emails. Keep it polite and positive, and save difficult conversations for the telephone. Be mindful of offensive topics in emails. It can cost you your freelance opportunities. Recognize your emails for what they are, recorded and permanent. Don't assume your email is private. There's a good chance that it's not. Refrain from attacking anyone, either recipient or a third party. Why? Because your email might not be private, and it most definitely is permanent. If you need to vent, steer clear of doing it over email at all costs. If you are emailing a possible client, treat it like a job interview. Sell yourself. If you are emailing a possible employer, especially, it is imperative that you sell yourself in that first email. Explain your qualifications, list your experience, and make sure it's clear why you are the best person from the job while trying still to keep it brief. Utilize white space. You want to do this so that you can make sure that your email is not just a wall of text that is difficult to read or difficult to distinguish the important information from the not important. Okay, so now let's look at a few bad examples of what professional emails look like. For this example, we're going to focus on the setup of the email, not the body. If you want to look first at the top, the subject line is suitable. However, her greeting seems a bit informal. There is no need to use an exclamation point. A comma or a colon would be better in this scenario. And if you look below, Trisha describes herself as a marketer extraordinaire. Though this isn't the biggest mistake one can make, it cuts into her professional appearance. She may be an extraordinary marketer, but she should probably keep that out of her emails and just to herself. Also, look at her email address. It's completely inappropriate to use as a work email. Hotpartychick at trishamarketing.com is fine to use for a personal email if you choose. But it is best to use a first and last name for a work email and little more. One of the best ways to maintain credibility is to exercise professionality. Lastly, there is no reason to include your favorite quote at the bottom of your email. Save that for your Twitter bio. This next example gives us a look at a few errors that can be made in the body of an email. First, though, we have to look at the subject line. The subject of this email is very weak, especially an email inquiring about a job position. It would be much more appropriate to be specific and pointed in your subject line. The body of this email is also a mess. There is very little professional language used at all. Very unneeded details are included. The grammar used is wrong in many areas. There is very little exigence expressed, and the email is anything but brief. There is very little white space being utilized, which makes the email even more painful to read. The author also breaks rule number 1 in the email itself when he explains that he might not respond to an emailed response. The farewell is also not professional. Sincerely should do the trick. No need to use colloquialisms. Emails are important, and these little errors can be avoided. If they're not avoided, then it could cost you career opportunities, it could cost you a client, and it could cost you your professional appearance. People do communicate in the world of freelance writing. And if you send a bad email, it's saved, it's permanent, and it could be showed to more than one person. Make sure that your emails are always professional, and you should at least have an added edge in the market. Thank you very much.